Welcome in, everyone. This is your commissioner here, and we have another Week 8 rankings video. We've had some changes, I would say, to say the least. In this week's rankings video, we had some top dogs fighting it out. We had some bottom dwellers with some big numbers and nice wins. So this will be a fun and entertaining rankings video. There will be some people probably a little hurt by this one, a little hurt with where these rankings ended up, but it was wild. It was a great week. But let's get straight into this week's awards. All right, here. This week's awards. We're going to start with the MVP of the week, and that is Aaron Judge for Travioli Raviolis. Aaron Judge just came back to life from literally having a terrible first month. Has come back to life. Has looked much better, and ultimately, I think he hit 11 homers in this month, so he is definitely back to being one of the best players in all of baseball. It's good to see him back. I'm an Aaron Judge fan, truther. I think he's a great ball player, but he's back on track, and the Raviolis may be back on track. Another nice win this week. Not sure what that brings their record to, but it is a nice win for them. We had the dud of the week. The dud of the week is going to, give me 1 second here. I got to remember whose team he was on. I believe it was this one. Yeah, Cody Bellinger here. Cody Bellinger wins dud of the week. 2 points, 2 singles, given he did have 2 rainouts this week. But that doesn't really help his case, or, I don't know. Cody Bellinger should get you more than 2 points if he is the type of player that we have come to know. Yeah, there were some lower scoring guys this week, but that was mainly because of injury or something else. A short couple days they didn't play or something like that. But Cody Bellinger needs more than 2 points there, Cole. All right, and then we have the injury of the week. Injury of the week here. We had a couple injuries this week. I think the biggest one, though, is going to go to Michael, and that is losing Xander Bogaerts. Bogaerts hasn't been Bogaerts this year, but ultimately, I feel like this injury is going to keep Bogaerts out for, I would say, a few weeks, maybe longer. It said he didn't need surgery, so usually whenever they say that, that it almost came to surgery. He's going to miss a significant amount of time. So Michael is taking home the injury bug this week with Xander Bogaerts. And what you all have been waiting for, the manager of the week. There were a couple guys I strongly considered this week, but there was only really one that I think is most deserving, and that is dropping this nuke on the balls to move to 3 and 5. It's the Travioli Raviolis and Travis Rawls taking home the manager of the week. I believe this is his first one. Don't quote me on that, but that is a nice, huge week here for the Raviolis. I'm sure you'll have something to say about it in the Discord for winning manager of the week, but it's well deserved when you have 2 guys in the 20s and everybody else having pretty solid weeks. We have kind of talked about this team being a team that I feel like can climb out of their hole that they've dug. and they absolutely showed it this week. So props to Travis, and he dropped an absolute nuke on the balls with an 85 point week. All right, we need to go back to, let's see. We need to talk about the scores this week. So I missed that. My bad. Running solo again since Mike Will is searching for his long lost Comstock in Tennessee. But the Rally Birds are going to take down the Mud Biscuits. Heavyweight bout back and forth this week. But the Rally Birds just kept the foot on the gas pedal all week. It was a pretty, I would say early in the week, it was kind of back and forth, but we had a big night. I believe Soto had a couple homers, and then Alvarez did some work, but they will take down the Mud Biscuits. The Raviolis, like I said, dropped an absolute huge week on the Balls. The Balls will move to 2-6, and the Raviolis are now at 3-5, 2 games under 500. The Holmes Hitters are back in the win column, taking down Sam Sluggers, who have been on a little bit of a skid lately. Didn't even set his lineup this week. The Sluggers fall to 4 or 500, while the Hitters are up to 2-6. Ryan's Rallying Raw is going to fall this week to the Ninja Chickens. The Ninja Chickens are moving to 5-3, while the Rallying Raws, this was a big put up week for the Raw, and they fell down short. 56 points isn't necessarily a bad week, but you still got to be better if you want to climb into that upper echelon. That's what was what was at stake this week for Ryan, was potentially the opportunity to climb, but I just don't think he's ready yet. And then we have another just awful week here for the Broken Bat Bombers, but they will get a win. 50.5 points, taking down the Arlington Taxpayers. This Broken Bat Bomber team is the luckiest team in the league right now. They have not necessarily put up a solid amount of points week in and week out, but somehow squeak out wins, and they are 500. The Taxpayers, what is going on here? This was an embarrassment to lose to Parker this week. They were climbing out of their hole, and they have now sat in it. They have shit their pants and sat in it. The Taxpayers really need a diaper change going into next week. Hormones with Clubs. Man, this team is a freight train. Another huge week here. Hormones with Clubs dropping a 75 piece on the Bum Shoulders. They fall to 3-5. I think Clayton's luck has kind of caught up with them, and now it is 6-1-1 for the Clubs. Looking forward to, I think the Rally Birds and the Clubs have a matchup coming up very soon. So this is another heavy hitter probably coming up this next week. But let's see here. Let's get into the rankings. We are into week 8. We've had some major changes throughout the year, but I think that this is we're a little over a third of the way through the season, and I think that we're going to see these teams really just kind of sit in these spots. There hasn't been a ton of movement at the top pretty much since the beginning of the year, but we have continued to see this bottom kind of flip back and forth. And this is a week where there was some big changes. And I think that, let's see here, we're going to do this. All right. Made a couple changes to the rankings, make it a little more entertaining here. All right, starting at number 12, we have a new one. It is the Randy's Balls. They have been hovering right above the 12 mark, but have fallen back to it again. Randy's Balls. Let's see where you're at here, Balls. Randy. Man, that bottom of the lineup just absolutely sucked this week. Absolutely awful. Bellinger, Rosarena were bad. But really the top held its own. We saw Teoscar Hernandez have a nice week. Harper had another nice week. And then Salvi Perez, 10 points is nothing to scoff at, along with Taylor Ward with 8. But Bellinger and Rosarena, it really didn't matter what you did this week, but ultimately, not a good showing again for the Balls. They come up short of their projections week in and week out, and that is why they're staying towards the bottom of the leaderboards and at 12. All right. At number 11, the Holmes Hitters are up one spot this week. They come in with a nice 75-point week with a 0 in the lineup. Didn't really help that his opponent also had a 0 in the lineup, but a huge week. Matt Olson came to play, 3 bombs. Corey Seager, 5 bombs, 22 points. Yandy Diaz, 7 points. Bo Bichette, 19. And then we have JD Martinez with 8. Solid week all around from every single player in this lineup that played. And the Holmes Hitters, I think this team is better than what their record shows, but ultimately going to be 2-6 going forward. But they are looking a little bit better. I'm hoping that they can win a few going forward to stay competitive in the league. All right, moving on to number 10. Number 10 this week is Andrews, Bum Shoulder, and Clayton Wolf. This team has continued to fall down the leaderboards. They were at 9 the week before. They fall to 10. I really don't know what to say about this team. They have really kind of. Hang on, we have storms going on, so I'm trying to make sure I'm not in like a tornado warning or anything. But besides Gunnar and Julio, this team just doesn't do it for me. I really don't think that this team wins too many more games going forward. I'm out on this team. I've kind of been out on them. I've talked about them quite a bit, and how much I'm out on them. Continuing going to be out. They are coming in at number 10. At number 9, we have the team that continues to win, up from number 11, the Broken Bat Bombers. What an awful week from everybody. He played Lars Nootbaar. That's how bad this team is, and yet they still win. Nobody really pops this week. Couple decent weeks from guys. I mean, 12, 9, 8, 9. He put up average points and got an average result and somehow ended up with a win. The Broken Bat Bombers this is their highest ranking in the year just because they're 500. This team, in my opinion, is the worst team in the league. They have found a way to win week in and week out, and I don't understand why. I hate this team. I seriously hate this team. And they're 500 when there are better teams below 500. So that is number 9. Continuing to fall to number 8, the guy that needs to set his lineup, the Sam and Sam Sluggers. Left Max Muncy in there on the IL. Also, another huge potential injury. I don't know if you guys saw this today. Ronald Acuna Jr. went down grabbing his knee. I'm not sure. They don't know if it's ACL, what it is, but he's going to miss a little bit of time. So this team has already been beaten up, losing Wilson Contreras, Mike Trout, Ronald Acuna Jr. I believe he lost, Max Muncy too. This team is in dire need of guys getting healthy, and they just got a lot less healthy with the number one pick in fantasy this year going down. That being said, you know, there's really nothing about this team that is scary. I don't know what way they go here. I guess you play, Jorge Soler, and I don't know. I don't know what you do with this team, but this team continues to lose players, and they need to find something, whether that be on the waiver wire or trade or something. I think they got to do something in order to continue to be competitive in this league. Because right now, this lineup they're going to throw out there week in and week out is not going to do it. And ultimately, I think that this team could just completely fall off the face of the earth. I mean, at one point, I had them at 5. I mean, I'm looking at my spreadsheet right now. I had them at 5, and now they're down to 8. Started the year at 9, but I just really think that this team needs some help. All right, at number 7, down from number 6, the Arlington Taxpayers. Already talked about it. This team shit their pants this week and sat in it all week. Tyler O'Neill, losing him to start the week didn't help. The Taxpayers have been bit by the injury bug. Nothing like super serious, I would say. I mean, some 10-day IL guys, but nothing. I mean, nothing really jumps off the page here of like, awful week, other than Marcus Semien here. But you look at what he went up against. There's no reason this lineup should lose to this lineup. I'm sorry, there just isn't. Taxpayers, just I don't know. I don't know where to be at with this team right now. I was back in on them. I feel like I need to be back out on them. I really don't know where to go. I'm leaving them kind of in the middle because I just don't know what to expect from this team week in and week out. Some weeks they look like, an absolute contender. Other weeks they look god awful. So I'm going to keep the Taxpayers at 7. All right. Up to number 6, a big climber this week. That's what you get whenever you drop 85. The Travioli Raviolis are back. Dropped an 85 piece. Already talked about this team a little bit, but we got a little shout out here. Been waiting to show this one off. Murph says Trav might have the locker room back. I think he does. I think that this team is all the way back. Judge is back. Yelich looking solid. Schwarber, I mean, he's hitting singles. If he's hitting singles, he's due for some homers. And Luis Arraez, I mean, since going to San Diego, the guy has absolutely raked. The raviolis are hot. This is some St. Louis toasted ravioli, and Travioli is absolutely on a tear, and I think he's going to stay on a tear. This is probably going to be one of the hottest teams in the league at this point. And I do see this team coming back and clawing back to 500 here. They're only 2 games under it now. I'm in on this team. I am absolutely in, and Trav should be in because I didn't really see why this team was playing so poorly, and it was mainly just because Aaron Judge wasn't being Aaron Judge. He has the I would say the side pieces to go along with Aaron Judge. A lot of good players that can put up huge weeks, and I think Trav is right back in this. Absolutely. which is why he is climbing. At one point, he was at 10. He was at 10 in the league, and now he's back up to 6. So his flow chart, or yeah, his chart is this boom, 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 boom right now. So he is all over the board, but he is back. All right, staying at number 5. Losing to the Ninja Chickens this week. I couldn't drop this team because I do still like this team. Bobby Witt with a huge week. 24 points for Witt. Tatis. Jake Westberg continues to be solid for the O's. Chris Morrell, terrible week. We did have a couple rain delays in there. It didn't help his case. Shea Langoliers, not a good week. And Cal Raleigh, not a good week. I think I've continued to say this about this team, that they really fall off after the top. And he's really looking. He really needs one more piece, I think, to be. Like I said this last week. I think that this team is one player away from being an upper echelon team. He has done a great job managing this team, but ultimately, he still has yet to get that elusive big win over one of these elite teams in the top 4. So, I don't know what move he has to make, but he has to do something here. I feel like he's a step behind this upper echelon, and really, I think this upper echelon could continue to lose, 1 or 2 games here, and still probably be in the upper echelon until somebody in that 5, 6, 7 range proves it. I think this top 4 is very solid. With that being said, this is a tough one. I didn't know how to rank these top 4. Yes, Murph won this week. Yes, the Rally Birds won this week. And yes, the Hormones with Clubs won this week. But I kind of took my foot away from the whole thing and just looked at these teams individually. And yes, a little bit of the records came into play here, and I hate to do this, but the Ninja Chickens are dropping from 2 to 4 here. I absolutely hate to say it, but the Ninja Chickens oh man, the Ninja Chickens are dropping from 2 to 4. It's a tough decision. I went back and forth on this, but I think there needs to be a new somebody who has been at number 4 is going to needs to be, how do I say this? Needs some recognition. Absolutely needs some recognition. And the Ninja Chickens are going to take the hit for it ultimately. The Ninja Chickens, coming in at 4. Nice week from Kyle Tucker. Rutschman was average. Devers was average. Duran, solid week. Cronenworth, and Garcia still has continued to be average after his hot start to the year. Sorry, guys. I'm probably going to run through this. I'm probably going to lose you guys if my power goes out. We just got a severe thunderstorm warning. But I'll try and be quick here. Murph, you're coming in at 4. Number 3. I'm back. Wow, that was crazy. All right. Lightning struck and kicked me out. I'm sure it almost fried my computer, but we're going to try and get this done. All right, we are back. All right, number 3, The Mud Biscuits are coming in at 3. This team is going to fall. It's the first time they have been ranked below 1 or 2. So this is out of the ordinary for the Mud Biscuits, but they are going to be 5-2-1. So they don't have as many wins as the Rally Birds, and they don't have as many wins as the Hormones with Clubs. So yeah, I hate to say it, but the Mud Biscuits, this was kind of a big week, and they came up short. The Rally Birds showed up. You can't say that this team is bad by any means, but they didn't win an important game. When I feel like this top 4 is so tight. So that being said, the Mud Biscuits are coming in at 3. Coming in at number 2, the Rally Birds. The Rally Birds are at 2 here this week, and that, like I said, is because they have taken down the Mud Biscuits, and I felt bad taking the Mud Biscuits from 1 to 4 when they really that's why I had to do it to Murph. I'm sorry. I still think it's upper echelon is the upper echelon. If you're in the top 4 right now, you're sitting pretty because you already have almost 5 or 6 wins. So that's where you want to be. But yeah, the Rally Birds coming in at 2, up from number 3, have continued to be in the top 3 pretty much from the beginning of the year. Huge week from Soto, Alvarez, Harris finally back on track. That's good to see. Mountcastle didn't even have a bad week. We'll take that. Maybe considering here, I don't know what I'm going to do, but Matt Chapman has come to play lately. I might have to make a roster move next week, but we might just ride it out. And then that means coming in at number 1, with Clubs are getting their respect. The Hormones with Clubs are coming in at number 1. They are moving to 6-1-1, the best record in the league. Jose Ramirez looking like MVP. Jose Ramirez, the best switch hitter in all of baseball. Manny Machado stepped up. Christian Walker stepped up. Top to bottom, this team right now, I've said it before, they don't have the biggest names besides, these top 2. The rest of the lineup, I wouldn't necessarily say huge names in the league, but have continued to shine in the clubs. I'm giving them some respect this week. That is ultimately what I'm doing. I just don't know what to do with this top 4. I think they're all neck and neck, but hey, you're 6-1-1, and the club, in my opinion, deserve that number 1 ranking this week. All right, I'm going to fly through the week 9 matchups. We have the Rally Birds going up against the Belt Shoulders. Guess I gotta put up or shut up this week. Going up against Clayton. The Raviolis going up against the Sluggers. I think it's gonna be a fun one here. Hopefully the Sluggers set their lineup, but the Raviolis are hot, and the Sluggers are looking for a big bounce back. The Balls are taking on the Broken Bat Bombers, the stellar game of the week. I hope the Balls can get on the board here and actually win this one. That's who I'm taking in this one is the Balls. The Hittas are taking on the Mud Biscuits. Wouldn't that be something to see the Hittas take down the Mud Biscuits? They outscored them this week. Nothing. Nothing would entertain me more than watching this matchup play out in that exact fashion of the Hittas taking down the Mud Biscuits. Another fun one here. Brian's Rallying Raw going up against the Taxpayers. I'm going to take the Taxpayers in this one. I think this team's just going to continue to confuse me, but I'm going to take them this week. And ultimately, I think Ryan's going to fall below 500 again. And then finally, we have this one. This is a big one for Murph. So you can ultimately earn a jump up in that rankings. He's been at 2, he's been at 3, he's been at 4. Um, he's never fallen out of the top 4, from my understanding here. He could really take a leap up here. Uh, if the rally birds fall, um, and the hormones with clubs or fall to the ninja chickens, I don't know what I might do here. This is the ninja chickens week, to prove me wrong. I think, like I said, I feel bad about dropping him to 4, but I didn't really have a choice, whenever I was kind of started looking at these teams. So this is the Ninja Chickens week. You're getting called out, Murph. This is your week. If you want to earn that top 1 or 2 spot again, this is your week. Take down number 1. The pressure is on. Ultimately, that is it for me. I'm surprised I didn't get electrocuted or something because tornado. I don't think the tornado sirens are going off, but it is very windy out. Um, I will see you all next week. I will have the memes tomorrow. Have fun, guys. We will see you. Enjoy your Memorial Day. We'll see you next week.